Okay, here we go. Oh, live. Look at that. I was turned live, didn't even know it. Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. This is poet Richard M. Knittle Jr., author, poet extraordinaire. Today I'm going to be reading from a few things here and there. Like it says on my post, doing some reading poetry, maybe sing a little song, do a little dance, smoke a little smoke, drink a lot of drink, and get down tonight, right? Hey Noel, how you doing? So let's see here. We got a lot of stuff to read, probably. I think more than likely. I never know what I'm going to read. It just kind of comes and goes. So I think what I'll read is, let's see, some of the newer stuff today. You know what? We're going to go with this one first. This is one of my favorite ones. This one is called Freedom. It is the first responsibility of every citizen to question authority. I didn't say that. Benjamin Franklin did way back when, and I think it's true. See, I love my country and will defend it till the end, but we have lost our way and need to find the right path back home again. Freedom is a word that we use here in the United States of America to describe our values and beliefs all across this land. From the purple mountain majesties to see the shining sea, but freedom is never really free for any race of man. The cost of freedom is so severe that we fight for it in its name. But how are you really free in a country where everyone's not treated the same? With so many laws that are passed that are so unfair to everyone and our civil rights so lame, it's like a political nightmare that we all vote on for either the Democrats or the Republicans that are only in it like it's a Facebook game. How free are you to go find a job when quotas are the norm? It really should not matter what race or gender you are if we can all do the job the same. So I say take away the quotas, make it fair for all, so only the best and the brightest will remain. What does it matter if you're gay or even if you're straight? Because love doesn't even care. I mean, when two people, no matter what race or gender, fall in love, it's happy everywhere. This country that I love was built on the blood of every single race of man. So please, just remember that the sweat that we drip and the blood that we all bleed is the same color. So together, we must all make a stand. Please tell me how it is free when it costs us every day with a government who wants to control what you do, where you go, with all the stupid laws they pass to make us all obey. They say that slavery is over and that every man is free, but remember how much tax that our government takes out. It's like what we take home, it's like we're working for free. Our jails are full of people just trying to make it through, as the government is more concerned on all the money that it makes by arresting and jailing you. You see, because helping us makes our government no money. They want it for all their made-up wars, all for the mighty dollar and a barrel of oil and so much more. How is it free with how much it costs to live and our veterans living on the streets, coming home from wars for no damn reason with PTSD? They risk their lives for you and me in freedom's name, yet their freedom isn't free. And now they tax you when you eat and just to fall asleep. They tax us to go to work and to drive. They even tax us from the day that we are born, even tax us the day that we die. So you see, freedom is never really free, no matter who, what, or where you are. The only true freedom that we have in our lives lives in our minds, our souls, and within our own hearts. And that one is called Freedom. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. So next, we're going to go on to this is another one I love. I love writing this one. It's one of the ones that people ask for when I get up on stage. Wonder where God is. With all the anger and hate everywhere in this world, we wonder where God could be. With children being hurt by abusers and babies killed before they are born, homeless, hungry, and poor, we wonder if God can even see. With wars breaking out all over and school shootings on all the cities and towns, we wonder if God is even home. And here lies the problem with what is going on everywhere that I can see. I was always taught that God in heaven above helps only those that help themselves, at least from everything that I read. I mean, why do we look up to God to fix us when we ourselves created the problems? I mean, certainly not He. Come on now, we made the mess, then we should clean it up. At least that's what my mom always said, not God. Wouldn't you all agree? I mean, just think about it for a minute. I believe it's very simple, at least in my head. First, we can feed all the families, home the homeless, even save our children and so much more. Just bring all of our troops back home and walk away from all the made-up wars. We lose so many heroes and young souls, all because the grown-ups never grew up and can't shake hands anymore. And for what? A barrel of oil, a gallon of gas that I just paid $2.54 for? I mean, you see, oil, that is in the ground. That is what's left of the previous rulers of this world. I mean, the dinosaurs from the past. It's oil. Because as it stands now, in 50,000 years, they will be pumping us out of the ground just as fast. Maybe democracy is why we fight, right? So let's bring the troops all back home, because that is where we ourselves in America are now losing sight. So we can use our troops here at home to do so much more good just by using them to clean up suburbias and all the hoods. I mean, if you really think about it, black, white, yellow, or brown, there's no color when it comes to crime or addiction in any city or town. Now, if we really want to fight corruption, addiction, and drugs and more, then let's stop the U.S. government. Besides, they're making all the money, and the feds, well, hell, they're the ones that are thugs. You see, by arresting all of us and putting us all in jail, they make billions of dollars because they set us all up to fail. Look at that money they make on your damn bail. Believe me when I say that God is still here and he's looking down, but I'm quite sure not with a smile, but more a big old frown. But I think that when we start to help ourselves and clean up our own mess, and maybe, just maybe, God will smile again. And remember, God is talking to us each and every day. So listen, bow your heads, and you will hear what he has to say. Just pray. That's it. That one is called freedom. Okay, Amy. Thank you very much. Tell God I said hi. Let's see here. That was I Wonder Where God Is. That's what that one. So this one is, it is sad that there are not that many yesterdays left, except for the memories that it will fade away. But tomorrow is different, for it will always be a brand new day. So forget the past and let it go. Besides, it was never meant to last anyways. So use today to make a new plan and live for the moment today. Another one, people with mental illnesses and things like that have for so long that sometimes they just get used to being in the dark. So what you need to understand about mental illness is that when you have lived in the darkness for so long, you adapt to it so that even the light hurts your eyes. This is another one I wrote. I rewrote it this morning because it was cleaned up now. This was stuff I wrote way back 5 years ago, so it wasn't exactly the greatest grammar or spelling. So it starts with Luke 36:37. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and poured into your lap. For the measure you can use, it will be measured to you. And that is where we're coming with the poem called Judgment. Do not judge me, for you have never been in any of the places that I have been, or where I was, nor have you walked in my shoes, or even seen what I've seen, or even heard what I heard. Do not ever judge me for the things that I say or what I may write. You haven't seen any of the wars that I am in, or fought any of the battles that I fight. Do not judge me for who I call my mate, or the gender she might even be, her age, even race. Do not even judge me on the clothes that I wear. You have not lived in my life. You have not been in the places that I have lived, or the shelters that I've stayed, or felt any of my sorrow or strife. Do not judge me on the color of my skin, the one in which I was born. You have no idea how I was treated, or the hate and scorn. Do not judge me, for you are not God, and today is not judgment day. We are not standing at the gates of heaven, and you are not Peter the Saint. Do not judge me ever unless you are ready to judge your own self. For the people that stand back and judge all the others should be judged by those that they have judged. Do not ever judge me, for that is not your right. If you choose to judge, if you need to judge anyone, then look into the mirror. That is where it should start. Then look real hard and judge your own damn self. Thank you. Thanks, Craig. I know you like that one. Let me see here. Oh yeah, Oreo. We have a new kitten, really. It's like real small, like this big. His name is Oreo. It's Ryder's new buddy and friend, and he's just learning to pick him up because he was afraid of him at first. He had to run all over the place. He's a sweet cat. Really, doesn't really bite hard. He really is a sweet cat. Anyway, he looks a little skinny because he is. His mama was killed, so he was adopted that way. I got a new song out now. If you listen to the song, if anybody knows the song called, and that's gonna come and get me, She's Just Lonely. In fact, She's Just Lonely by, I gotta remember it. I don't know why I don't know this stuff. So the song is by Eric Paisley, and it's called She Don't Love You Really. And it's one of the greatest songs I've ever listened to. It's one of the best ballads I love. and it talks about she's just lonely, she just dances with you and stuff like that. Anyway, let me hear. I'm going to do the first part of it so you guys hear the tune, because then it'll be in your head, or when I play, or when I read the new song, because it really was based on this. I was listening to this probably. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, let me get that going here. So I was listening to this, and in my head I'm like, I wonder whatever happened to that. Why she's lonely. So I wrote the second part, kind of a rebuttal to it. So here's what it sounds like, real quick. She don't love you, she's just lonely. You probably can't hear that, so I'm gonna turn it up. Just a minute. Once upon a time. So this is it. Listen to the listen to the music. Used to be the trusting kind. She's no stranger to the leaving. It's a very beautiful ballad, and that's why I like that. She's heard all the best goodbyes. But that's not why we're here. So the song that I wrote for it, my mouse wants to start working. Right, my mouse. This is what happens when you do live things. Things break, and it just doesn't ever go right. And with me, that nothing ever does. I had a new mouse. Okay, so that was the tune. Now the song is called Now He Is Lonely, and he wants to hold on and love her like he did one time long ago, when they held on to each other dancing around the hardwood floor. He wishes now that he could go back to right a wrong that he had made one night when he went out drinking and slept with someone else's bride. The chorus is, he still loves her, and now he is lonely. His nights are filled with dreams of her, and all the nights that they once shared by the fire while making love. He has begged her for forgiveness many times in the past, but she just turns and walks away without a single word. Today she still dances with anyone that asks, just not as close as she has before, for she will never fall in love again since the night that I broke her heart. He loves her now, and now he's lonely. His nights are filled with dreams of her, and all the nights that they had shared, holding on to one another, making love. He still loves her, and now he is lonely, as he will never find love again. For when he broke her heart in pieces, leaving them scattered on the floor, that's what you, man, I just messed that up. I see I was going through all this anyway. That's a new song. And it goes through that. And I like it because I love that song. That's why I did it. I mean, it was pretty cool. So a writer can take you on a journey with your mind, but a poet can take you places with your heart that only your soul can find. It's true. Poets often have conversations in their heart and soul in a language that their brain just doesn't understand. That's true too. So when you touch the soul of another, you will be connected forevermore. All right, let's see. I thought this was really cool, and I'm going to read it just because I'm patting my own back. And Jonathan Singer, I really don't know him. He's not a family member or anything like that, but he sent this to me. He's a counselor at Guided Path Counseling, I guess. Mr. Richard M. Knittle is truly one of the most gifted authors of our time. He expresses things as no other. Thank you, Dr. Jonathan Perry Singer, PhD. Hey, it's a doctor, so it must be true, right? All right, here's my latest, y'all. And I know everybody's been waiting for this one, so I'm going to go ahead and do it now. It's called The Map on My Heart. The scars and jagged lines that you see on my poor beat-up heart look just like the ones on a road map showing the many paths, roads, and highways that I've taken throughout my life. Take this one, the curves around the south at the bottom of my heart. That is when I met a woman down in California. I fell in love, got married, had 2 kids, those are my oldest boys, and tried to make a life, but somehow we got lost and ended up on 2 different roads and directions. Yet even after today, after all these many years, I still have love for her with the beat of my heart. Then, when I was not looking, I veered off down the main road, down a dirt path that had been traveled by very few. There I stopped to quench my thirst, listening to the band that was playing. I think they were called Winslow, and they were damn good. Then I saw her, and she was standing up by the bar, so I walked over and introduced myself. And the next thing I know, we were headed to Reno to start our new life, down another road, where again, not too long after, she got another ride home. This scar and that one were roads I took that ended up dead ends, so I had to turn around, looking for another road to take me back home again. But again, I got sidetracked where I had my 3rd son. I was cruising, not only really looking for anything in particular or anyone. When I saw her, back when I saw, sorry guys, when I saw her, we talked and we danced and had a little fun. A few days later, she called me and came by where we drove together down the road, got married a few years later after the baby came along. I thought this one would last, but I was mistaken. So not long after, I packed my bags, took out my map, and I drove on down the road. Where I would end up, I really didn't know. But this line and that scar and this one right over here is what was left of my broken heart. Once again, it took me time to heal. I was like, I need to repeat that again. I was mistaken, so not long after I packed my bags, took out my map, and drove on down the road. Where I would end up, I really didn't know. But this line and that scar and this one right over here was left of my broken heart once again, and as it took time to heal. And as I got lost here and there and turned the wrong way, then one day I was on the crossroads. Yep, the same very one. And there were so many paths and roads to take, I wasn't quite sure which way to go. So I closed my eyes and I took a chance, driving a road that was full of broken cars. And that's when I saw her standing right there in the middle of the road. So I stopped and I asked, "Would you like a ride?" I should have known better. For when she licked her lips and jumped in right next to me and said, "Thank you, Hassan, you might want to hold on tight. I'll show you a few shortcuts to get us there." Then she kissed me on the lips. And then I must have passed out for just a minute or maybe even more. And the next thing I knew, we were flying down the road, picking up speed the further we drove, turning down this path and that path, to this road and to that one, as everything began to blur. I woke up and she was driving us down a road that I'd never seen before. So I asked her where we're going. She turned and looked at me. She said, "Does it really matter with all the fun we have? Don't worry, husband, just do what I want and it'll be okay." So I sat back, closed my eyes, and let me show you a good time. So I listened for a while, and I have to say she was damn right. But something I felt was just not quite even right. So, wait, I lost it. Oh, even though she looked like an angel, I could find no halo or wings. But I did find two spots on her head, I swear, were her horns. Then I closed my eyes, and all I saw was nightmares and dreams for forever, it seemed. When I woke up, I found myself in the backseat of my car, naked all alone. Nothing but some words on the ground. Wait a minute, I have screwed this one up bad. Naked, all alone, without my keys. So I threw on this and that, got out of the car and looked around. I found nothing at all but some words on the ground, with an arrow that said, "Do you know where you are? 1 mile up the road will be the last stop before it's the end. Buckle up, hang on, it's your last ride. Thank you for taking the highway to hell." Right then I remembered, and tears began to fall. I thought, what time is it? How long have I been driving around and round, right around and round? Right then a light appeared right before my eyes, shining down from high above into my eye. What I saw was the past and all the things I had done, which brought me to my knees, praying to God, asking forgiveness, please, for my many sins. Then I felt my heart beating as I let him in, as if he was always right there. I found my keys already in the ignition, so I started the car. The engine growled as I turned the car around. I looked back in the mirror just in time to see that girl running just as fast as she could, calling out my name. But I kept looking forward and stood on the gas, watching as her vision got smaller and smaller until she was gone, finally at last. I took a deep breath and I said, "Thank God." And I kept on driving till I felt safe. And here we are. Here we are. I'm going to have to move this, guys. This is what happens when I do live things. So here we are. I should just restart that whole thing over, but it's too long. So I kept driving till I felt safe, and here we are, now showing you my scars and lines that fills up my heart. So now that when I travel and I get a little lost, I just close my eyes and look inside of me, and I find my way home by following my heart. That was it on that one. Sorry, guys, that one I screwed up on really bad. Let's see. The last one is Beautiful Love Poem. That's what it's called. I guess I really never took the time to realize that you look even more gorgeous every single time that I see you. Like you were a very rare, beautiful love poem that was written of true love and forever, from once upon a time to a happily ever after, whose ink was used to last forever past a lifetime, then on to eternity, where your very soul and essence was spread out through all the sands of time, which at that moment, by just whispering into your ear, being carried by all the winds of yesterday and yesteryear, into the here and now today by a very familiar sound, a voice from out of the past that said, It was still falling short at the time that you and I had spent together. If one day you were mine, for I have wished a wish on 100 falling stars, shooting across the galaxy, that you one day would be mine. Your beautiful, sheer presence will always be haunting me for all those times you have danced with my very soul. With memories that will live inside of me, playing until the day God decides to take me back home. You're a legend among all the beauties and all the fields where the roses grow, of every single color, shape, and size and form. My heart you have stolen like a thief into the night, and all I can say is keep everything you have, right? Keep everything is right. You are the inspiration in any of my poems, among my many muses whose words I hear the most, while I spill my ink, full of treasures like the diamonds and gold. When I close my eyes, you are who I see. For your beauty, radiance is among the stars, for everyone to see. As I grow older from time, that will not slow you, my dear, frozen just as you are. We may never see each other again, as our paths are far apart, but you will always be with me, living with every single beat of my heart. I like that one. That one is kind of crazy too. I read that one. Now, depression. I think I read this one. I think I did, but yeah, I think I did read this one. We'll go to a little different one. We already did Mary Jane the other day, so I'm not going to do that one. Oh yeah, here we go. It's called The Revelation of Our Anticipation. I just wanted to say good night, sweetheart, and I hope you know that I look forward to waking up every single morning now forever with you, and to the revelation of our anticipation, the participation and reciprocation of making beautiful, sweet, passionate love to you. Because of my expectation of our dedication without apprehension or preconception, that our love will be everlastingly, endlessly, and forever true. And I want you to now understand unequivocally that I absolutely, unquestionably, genuinely, and undeniably am totally, madly in love with you. As you are my love of my life and more, whom I so adore and admire and adoringly adore. And I can never ask for any more from anyone. For you have made all my wishes on every falling star, wishing wells, and other wishes that I could have made me a believer in the fairy tales. Man, I messed it. I am not doing well today. It's funny. So, I could. You have made me a believer in the fairy tales that can come true, and even once upon a time in the book of my life without even trying to. You have brought tears of joy, and I wanted to tell you how much I love you. For you've made all my dreams come true. Yeah. Love poems. Wow. What are they for? Love? Love doesn't even exist. Don't even get me started. Here we go. Oh, man. Beautiful love poem. Oh, here we go. This one's called Where Did You Go? I was sitting alone in front of the fireplace drinking a glass of white wine. And I started thinking back to the past and the time that we were happy back when I was yours and you were mine. You see, we started out as friends. I thought a friendship that would last for a life. And then when we became lovers, soon after, I was your loving husband and you my beautiful wife. Right then, all the memories of all the good times that we ever had came rushing into my mind, And you know what? All the bad times that we ever had, I just couldn't find. Just what happened to us, that's what I really want to know. One day we were drinking this bottle, making love by our fireplace, as we have so many times before. Then one day I came home and you were gone. Where'd you go? What happened? What did I do wrong? You know that, baby, I still smile when I hear our song. Just know that I still think about you every day and dream of you at night. I'm not mad at you, just hurt that I could never get it right. I still love you, and that is why I set you free. I will still be right here waiting if you ever want to come back to me. If you're lost and want to find your way home, just look toward the sky for the brightest star that you can find, for I will be wishing on that one. Wishing on it too, that one day you will come back home and again be me and you. That one's actually pretty good. I like that one. Let's see here. I'm gonna do a couple more. That's it. That's it, guys. That's no more. One day. This one I'm gonna read. It's really good, actually. It's not finished, but it's more of a story. Tell me what you guys think of this one, and if I should just keep going with it, or just make it to an epic poem, or just cut it off and be done with it. Kill it right now. Like the last of the warmth from a burning ash from a cigarette, lit yet never burned. sometime after midnight as the clock strikes 1. She lay there looking lifeless in a dirty bed not her own, passed out with some stranger lying on top of her, slobbering all over her, trying so hard to get it up the way too high. He will soon learn. She had met him just a few hours ago at a bar down the street, where she now calls her home, drinking all her love away, using drugs so she would never feel the hurt again. And when the alcohol can no longer hide the pain in her heart, turning to a needle now filled with the lies that fill her mind, with all the thoughts that are all blurred along the lines of sin, trying to forget the life she is in. Her beauty, you can still see it if you look real hard, covered now by a plain black mask that was given to her personally as tokens of his gratitude by the devil himself, as he danced with her at the sinner's masquerade ball. What happened to the beauty queen from some tiny town, an honor student with the sheer beauty of a goddess from deep down inside and in and out, a mother of two children. A mother of two children that know now of all the real sadness of a very broken world. Her life once had a once upon a time that will never come that ended. Once upon a time that will never come, that ended, the last chance of having a happily ever after again. For she's now married, she has been married now to her addiction to sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And at one time, her daddy's little angel once who flew around her wings in halo, made of gold. She's only made a few mistakes every now and then, but today, through the wings that are gone, as she ripped them feather by feather, and her halo lost or given away, trading her chances to be okay. Even her family had it all, but given up on her, acting as if she was dead and buried 6 feet underground. Man, this is this was probably a mistake, but we keep on going. Down and already gone with nobody left to really care or love her. She is now all on her own, except for the memories of better times that now play over like a dream, from one who still watches over her without ever being seen. For her love he once held in his arms that she can no longer see, or cares about, for no one now can ever hurt her heart again. As her heart was broke so hard long ago, and her soul in prison, chained down, convicted of caring too much somewhere down deep where it was hidden away. Her eyes that once shined and looked so alive, that had always sparkled like a diamond in the sky, now looks as if they've died a long time ago, living her life now in the darkness passed between drug addicts, thieves, and more. Dangerous playing games that she has created, for she is out now, conquering men one by one, just as she was queen of all horrors. Those who get too close are gone, just like the wind, without a single teardrop or another thought of them coming back again. From a heart that pumps the cold ice of deep regret and sorrow from all of her mistakes she has made, but will never believe in them as denial rules her life. Love is something she says she believes in, but meaning is a lie, for lust has killed what true love was, and she's never had. Within that now has taken full control as she moves on from guy to guy, using them for drugs and money until they fall in love, feeling nothing but scars as she leaves them dry. She runs leaving a path of emotional broken mass destruction in men's hearts and souls as big as the plague that killed 500 million lives. Her story is just only one of many in the world we know, as family is no longer family we used to know, as addiction continues to grow, unabated with no cure. It will soon have conquered all the man, becoming a king of the land. And addiction is the evil that we must find a cure before there is nothing left but women like her in the world of addiction land. It's almost there. It's working on it. Like I said, it's not finished. That's why it hasn't been posted, but I'm getting there. We'll do 2 more. This one's called One Less Lie. Even if one or both of us woke up tomorrow morning knowing in our hearts and minds that our eternity shall never come, all of the promises that we made that one day to each other do not actually need to be broken. For we tried our best, but we failed. The test is over. We are done. Just another number, and that's okay, because all the dances that we have ever shared in this while we have been together, and all the times that we made love, holding on all night long tightly to each other, and even those trips that we took on the weekends, just the two of us, getting crazy, laughing, kissing, playing as we promised. I can't even talk today. I think I'm going to end it now. I might as well go have a couple of beers and get drunk, because that's how I'm sounding, and I'm not. Oh my gosh, it's very hard to do poetry and live poetry or even write poetry when you have nobody that will support you. I mean, it's really sad that there's a lot of people out there who are very talented, but they have no support from their own family. They get told that they suck. They don't need to write anything. They might as well quit because they're not going to go anywhere. Or you got to hear the disgusted or the when you try to read or try to show them anything at all. It's very, very sad, actually. And that's kind of where my life is. I don't have a lot of people that back me up in my family or anywhere around. It's just a lot of people that want to use me and just, whatever. I've gotten used to it, but, I've gotten a lot stronger. I just kind of put that out there because there's a lot of authors like me who could actually be someone or be somewhere, but nobody will support them, so they just quit and kind of dribble up and waste away into nothingness. But that's one thing I won't do is quit. I haven't quit in 5 years. I didn't quit fighting for my son, Ryder, and I won't quit anything that I love, and I love writing. I may not be the greatest. I may not be the worst, but I may not be the best thing since hot cocoa butter, I guess. But I love it, and I have a lot of fans, and I want to thank you guys for reading and write, and the words that you guys send me are amazing. I know I write a lot of words. I talk a lot of talk. I spell a lot of spell. But those few words that come in those letters sometimes are just thank yous, mean the world to me. That's why I continue to do this. If I never got another thing, or if I never heard anything, I'm okay with that. If I don't make $1 billion, if I don't become rich and famous, okay, I never was meant to be anyway. But the people that I've helped, the people that have helped me, that's more than gold or treasure than anything that anybody could ever have. And thank you very much. So the last one I will read is, I'm trying to get down to it because I got so many on my board here. When I find it, you'll know it. Just give you a few more minutes. Anyway, so I was reading. I have well over a couple thousand, maybe even more pieces of poetry over the last 5 years. That's crazy. I'm trying to get this one. Let's see. I know it's coming up here. It's the last one that I'm gonna write. I'm gonna read, and it's called Love's War. So I'm trying to find it. Actually, maybe not. If I don't find it, when I find something else that I like, we'll go ahead and take that one. Actually. Oh, by the way, so I'm on, the secondary charts of #1 music, by the way. You can go #1music.com, I think it is. It's a secondary site of charts. Not the top 40 or anything, but they're internationally and global, and their music gets all put together. And right now, I'm #3 for all the United States, and acoustic again for one of my songs. Anyway, I think it's Your Love Is Now Part of Me. Anyway, and it's #3. It was #1 for a long time, and it fell down to 14 or 15. Now it's back at #3 again, and I haven't even really done a lot. But there's 3 songs that I have on that chart, and they're all charting for the United States, Texas, for all genres, and even genres. I can't even say that word. Anyway, I think that was pretty cool. I'm very proud of that fact, and I'm loving that. So, okay, we're going to read this one. It's the last one for today. And remember that addiction affects everyone around you, not just you, and it's the end of who you are and used to be. And it's true. Living your life in the darkness, always running away from the light. For the evils of addiction has taken you far away from the fight. I miss you so much and who you used to be, so loving and caring a person that I no longer get to see. The love and affection that we once shared has been taken by all your hurtful lies. As you are married now to your addiction, for I can see it in your bloodshot eyes. The late nights that I stayed up and worried if you were dead or sitting in jail. Just waiting for a phone call now from the devil who's waiting for you in hell. Maybe one day you will know just how much that I really loved you and that I tried everything that I could. But I have no more fight in my heart or soul, so I need to leave you and your addiction for good. Don't think that I don't still love you, because I still cry when I hear a song. But I cannot keep you from falling down anymore. I'm just no longer that strong. So please always remember that I loved you, and I will remember a time when you loved me. But I would rather remember you the old way, not the you which I now see. Thank you. That one is called Addiction. You guys can get that. That's one of my oldest ones that I've written. Man, I just wish I could have found that one. But I guess it is time to go. I love sitting here with you all day long, but I got people on my, behind. Let's go. I got to go here. Got to go do this, do that. Me. So I will try to be back later on today because I will be back on this weekend. I'm starting to do more and more of these, and I will continue to do this because people ask me to. That's why I'm doing it. So I think that's it. If you guys have anything that anyone of you guys want to hear anything, just send me an email. I get it a lot of times. And remember, what was I going to say? Man, that's called old timers disease, right? Everybody, thank you again. I just keep saying thank you because it's been 5 years and it's been an amazing time. I was going to quit, I'll tell you that. Here not too long ago, I was very dejected and very upset. But I decided not to because of a few, actually a lot more than a few people that kind of messaged me and things like that. Y'all know that I have clinical depression and that I have PTSD, and it's very hard sometimes to fight. And when you get stressed out with my health problems and things like that, it really comes to a head, and you just fall further. Well, I was falling further and getting worse and worse, but I forgot about my fans out there that helped me heal from the last time and all the time. That's why I write anyway. So I started writing a lot more again. And now I'm even doing the live poetry because the more I do it, the more people want me to do it, and that's why I'm doing it. So again, thank you again. I love you guys. Peace, poetry. And I keep looking outside because Ryder's outside his bike and he keeps going by the window. So have a good one. I'll see you guys later, and have a good night.